everyone. Happy Wednesday. It's hump day. We are halfway through the work week and we're so happy to have you join us for another Zoo to You virtual safari. I, as always, am Carly, and today we are featuring our zebras, including our newest little guy who we'll get to on his name in just a second. So I'll wait for a couple people to join. Don't want anyone to miss out on the big announcement. Hello to everyone who's already logging on here, the early birds. I'm really excited to talk about zebras today. So if you have any questions about our herd or zebras in general, I have keeper Jesse with us. Jesse was on on our Okapi live stream a few weeks ago. He is awesome, so we can't wait to talk to him again. Hi Abby, thanks for joining us. Hi Xander, my regulars. Love seeing you guys in the comments. Hi Kala and Chase. Hi Josh. So do you guys want to put some guesses for what you think we've named our male zebra calf in the comments? Hi Miracle. Hi Ashley. So yeah, we have a name for him, but we will reveal it in a little bit. But at first I want to hear what you guys would name him or your guesses for it. I'll give you a hint. It's similar to something we almost named another animal, if that's not vague enough. All right, hi Jake, hi Ashley. Let's flip it around and get started. Hi Jesse.
Hi guys.
Hi Bonnie. All right, so here are our adults, and there is our little boy back there. He is 1 week old today, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Oh my gosh, he is so cute.
He is very cute. So the other ones we have, the one in front is Topaz, the one behind her is Zinfandel, and then Farah is our little one's mom.
Aww.
Farah is short for Farasi, which is the Swahili word for horse.
So kind of accurate.
Yeah, right?
So are all three of these female?
Yes, the three that we have are female, and then our newest little addition is a little male.
Oh, and we do have another male, Bakari, right?
Yes, and that is actually our little one's dad. So Bakari and Farah had a breeding recommendation, and that's where we got our little guy.
And Bakari's spending some time in his own kind of bachelor pad yard right now.
Yep.
Has been for a while. So you can see him on the other side of Central Ranges, between our Somali wild asses and our bongos, or attics, I believe.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Over on that side, hi from York, England. Hi, Christina.
Wow.
A lot of suggestions for the name Stripes. That's a little too on the nose.
That's appropriate.
I like polka dot. Hi to Maddie, Paxton, and Everett. Hi, Ivy and Lily. So what do you guys have questions for Jesse about zebras? I think one of them you can see for yourself. A lot of people have always asked, are they born with stripes?
They are born with stripes, yes. So, but if you'll notice about our little one, his stripes are actually kind of brown in color. And they're going to keep that brown coloring for a couple years until they get that black stripe pattern.
But he does have stripes already, and his kind of mane on his back is brownish,
Yep.
as you can see. And once you're here in person, you'll see it a lot better. Mabry is wondering, will he be staying with us or going to another zoo?
He will more than likely be going to another zoo.
But not for a little while.
Not for a little while, nope. In the wild, they'll stay with their parents up to about 3 years. So potentially we could have him that long.
Yeah, so there will be plenty of time to come see him and enjoy him when you all come back to the zoo. Abby wants to know, how long are they pregnant for?
So their gestation period is about 13 months.
13 months?
Yep.
Jeez. That is up there with like the pachyderms,
Yep.
and that's pretty long. I would have expected a shorter one for a hoofstock animal. What are they eating?
So right now we have some lovely goodies. We have these things called apple and oat biscuits, which, as you can imagine, taste like apples and oats. We also have carrots and some sweet potatoes. Oh man, he's really close now.
What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments if you think we should just go ahead and let you know his name. Ashley says Topaz is her birthstone.
Oh, is it? Cool.
Yes. Luke is 6. He wants to know who zebras are most closely related to.
So zebras are a horse. They are a wild horse. So the horses you kind of see on a ranch or something like that. We also have our Przewalski's wild horses. So they are an equid. They are actually the largest of the equids.
And what gives them their stripes?
So the reason they have stripes, there's kind of a couple different theories there, but mostly it's camouflage. So if you have a herd of zebra all running together, and they're all running very, very closely together, you can't really tell where one zebra ends and the next one begins. So a predator may not be able to single out somebody to take down.
Sort of like an optical illusion.
Yes, yes.
Very cool. Hi Betty, he is a week old. You're looking at a really fresh zebra here, people. Abby thinks his name might be related to a gemstone. This is one of our kind of groupings of animals we don't necessarily have like a theme for. Farrah, Topaz, Zinfandel.
Nope.
It's not like our kudus that all kind of have like people names and stuff like that.
This one, I'll give you a hint, was keeper choice. So.
Oh yes, it is a really big deal. We know the public loves to submit name ideas, but when you take care of an animal day in, day out, you're going to want to name that thing. I think moms can totally understand that. You wouldn't put on your Facebook, name my kid.
That is so true.
after you give birth. So, are they having a little spat over the food here?
I think sometimes, yeah.
Michael and Eddie want to know, could the little guy walk as soon as he was born?
So actually, it takes them a little while. So within 15 minutes of birth, they can get up. Within about 30 minutes of birth, they can walk. And within about an hour, they're ready to run.
Luke and Lydia want to know, what are their predators?
What are their predators? So a lion, hyena, lots of pack animals like African wild dogs. They're probably not going to go for something large. Maybe lion might go for like an adult like this. But little ones like him, or maybe an older kind of geriatric animal, would be what those pack animals are more than likely going to target.
Some guesses like onyx. Ashley's guessing Maru because that was one of our top 3 name choices for tattoo.
Some of these names are amazing.
Yes. Drew wants to know if zebras swim.
They don't really swim, so they'll probably find like a more shallow area and kind of gallop across the water, jumping through the water, but they're not really built for swimming, no. If you look at those hooves, they're not really good for paddling in water.
No. Heather's wondering if zebras can be domesticated.
Zebras, no. So they are one of the horse species that has never been domesticated.
They are resilient.
At least Grevy's zebra.
Yes, and what kind of species is the Grevy's zebra?
So the Grevy zebra, is the largest of the zebra species. There's 2 other zebra species. These guys were named for a French president, actually, who is the kind of first one to see the first known specimen of these guys.
Ashley's wondering if we know how much the little guy weighed at birth.
We do not. So we actually have not gotten hands on him or really separated him from mom in the entire week he's been born. So around 80 to 100 pounds is what you might expect.
Is he nursing exclusively? Is he eating solid food
So as
yet?
of right now, he is nursing, but within a week of birth, they will actually start consuming solid foods. A fellow keeper of mine said that she watched him at a feeder for about 5 minutes trying to get something, and he came out with one single piece of hay.
That's
So
very different from a lot of our young. We know Juna is our greater one-horn rhino calf. She's almost still exclusively nursing, still just practicing chewing. Ashley's wondering how you can tell the difference between the 3 species.
The 3 species, it really has to do with stripe patterns. So these guys, their stripes do go all the way down the leg, if you look at that. But then they end at the belly, so they have that white belly. The other zebra species are going to look a little bit different than that.
And how do we tell the difference between our 3?
That was the question I was expecting. So if you look at Farrah is the largest out of them, and her mane is kind of droopy. It was really, really prominent when she was pregnant, much bigger. She has that droopy mane. If you look at Topaz right here, well, actually, we're going to go to Zinfandel. Zinfandel has that white spot. She's got a black band on her chest with just a white spot. So that's like her wine stain, Zinfandel. She also has all the whiskers in the world. Look at those whiskers.
She does have a lot of
And then for me, Topaz is the other one. But also, if you look at her tail, it is the shortest of all of them with the tail hair. So that's one way to tell them apart.
And I always tell people on these live streams, when they ask how our keepers tell them apart, it's really just being with them.
Facial recognition, I look at them and they look as different as humans, I suppose.
Yes. So typically you're not going to be able to tell them apart just by looking if you only walk by them on your way to the other animals. But if you want to spend some real time up here, and I do suggest you do, let's get a little closer look. I think we have enough people on here now where we can go ahead and announce his name if he wants to not be so shy. Maybe we'll wait till we can actually see him.
There you go.
Again.
See if we can get Farrah just to step a little bit.
Oh.
Or not. We're sticking pretty close to mom. That's pretty
smart. There we go. All right. We can see him, Jesse. What is this little guy's name?
Well, I hope we have some Star Wars fans out there because his name is Kylo.
Kylo. You're looking at Kylo, the newest zebra here at Denver Zoo, born 1 week ago. So, yep, Kylo was one of the options we had for our sloth, Wookie, when we named him a 1.5 years ago. So it's really exciting to bring that name back because I know that was a favorite. We have a lot of Star Wars fans. at this zoo for sure.
So funnily enough, I did not know that because I did not work here a year ago. I just suggested the name because I thought it was cool.
Marie says that's an awesome name.
Excellent.
Jesse is the one who suggested it.
Yes.
And it just stuck. You know, sometimes you just say, all right, let's go with it.
Kind of, yeah.
So even if you're just joking or naming someone in passing, it might stick.
That's true.
So yes, this is Kylo. We know he was technically the villain in
He's redeemed in the end. You just gotta watch it all the way.
No, he wasn't born Ben and then we changed it. That's not what happened.
That's true.
So everyone says, welcome, Kylo. Everyone loves the name. I hope even if you didn't, you wouldn't tell us because we like it.
That is very true. Don't break my heart.
Don't break our heart. All the suggestions were very good, but
Yes.
we just wanted to start calling him something immediately.
Little one and
The little one. So you were telling me something pretty cool about the kind of first couple days he was born, that mom Farah was being really protective and not letting them get close. Why is that?
yes, so when they're born, they need to imprint on their mother, and their mother wants them to get the stripe pattern down, the smell, and the call that she makes. And so what Farah was doing was she was removing herself from the other two. And the other two were pretty good about keeping their distance and staying social distancing. And staying away and letting them have that bonding moment. But as the week has progressed, we can now see they've kind of become a little bit more of a herd, and she's allowing the other two to kind of come and investigate Kylo and get to know him a little bit better as well.
Citizen Matt says spoilers much, but you know, there
So sorry.
there is
It's been out a
a
while.
statute of limitations
I'm
on spoilers, and we won't apologize
Uh,
to people like Matt A from Denver, from Barn 3.
Matt A. Wonder who that could be.
David wants to know what color lightsaber you think Kylo would have.
Well, I mean, from what I've seen of him, he's pretty spunky. He's fun, but he's also centered, so I'm gonna go with probably a blue one.
Yes. Ellie wants to know what Jesse's favorite thing about zebras is.
My favorite thing about zebras is their teeth. So they actually have around 40 teeth that are constantly growing because they're constantly biting and chewing and eating and wearing them down. So they have those teeth that just keep growing, which is pretty cool.
He's so cute. He kind of bumped into Mom there, which was
He
pretty
doesn't
cute.
completely have his facilities yet.
No, he just kind of wasn't looking. He just turned around too quickly. How have the other two ladies reacted to the new guy on the scene?
They love him. So Zinfandel has never had a foal before, and I believe Topaz has. This is Farah's third foal, but I think they really like that kind of maternal instinct, and just kind of having a new addition to their herd is very exciting.
Jeanette is wondering, do they neigh and whinny like horses do?
So they can. A lot of times theirs is more like a donkey bray, that kind of loud. That was a really fun impression. But yeah, so it's really a louder call. They do snort and not really much of a whinny.
Yeah, so not totally like your domesticated horses. Closer to that donkey.
Yep.
And again, for anyone who's wondering, no relation to Okapi, even though they
Nope.
share similar kind of color patterns on the bottom.
Yep, that's true.
Let's see. What other questions do you all have about Kylo or our herd? Let's see. Who was it that said they love his... Lauren says she loves how long his legs are.
I feel like they're all legs until they can finally grow into that body a little bit. But
They
yeah,
are.
he's pretty leggy.
I feel like when I was a kid and I would draw like horses or anything, that's what I would do. I had
Always
really
with the
long
really,
legs.
really long legs.
And there he goes. He's trying to nurse with Mom right now.
She's a good mom.
Yeah, we missed having you at the zoo. Marianne says, why didn't you name him Jar Jar?
Oh.
Well, we don't want that.
Yeah, I'll keep that opinion to myself.
Abby says, were any of the other zebras born at Denver Zoo?
You know, Abby, that is a great question, and unfortunately, I do not know the answer. I'm gonna say I don't believe so, but I don't know.
Yeah, we'd have to check our records on that. Jesse's relatively
I do
new
know
here.
their ages. So this one right here, Topaz, is 17. Zinfandel is our oldest one at 25, and Farah over there is 23. Oh, and Kylo's less than a week,
Yes.
or about a week.
So they range in 1 week to 25 years.
There you go.
Christina's wondering why they have those white spots on kind of the tips and backs of their ears. Is that just part of the coloring?
That's just part of the coloring, yeah. So everybody's pattern is different. So they may have black up there if their stripe pattern goes there, but if not, they're just gonna have that white tip.
Lauren is so awesome and helpful. She says Zinfandel was born here at Denver Zoo.
Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you, Lauren. Let's see. Another Lauren says, I've been told that sometimes they sleep standing up with their necks intertwined. Is that true?
I have not heard that. I know that they can sleep standing up, but as for the next intertwine, I don't know.
We have not seen that with our herd, but that might be because they don't need to. It's more of a survival instinct, according to her question. How tall are they?
So they can be, it's hard to kind of guess here, but probably about 4 feet at the shoulder. Maybe a little smaller than that, 3.5. So.
Very cool. And if you're asking, they can be pregnant for 13 months.
And weigh up around 900 pounds.
Wow. Dimitri is 3. He wants to know, does he follow mom into the barn or is it too scary?
Yes. So actually the first day he was born, we were not worried per se, but we were kind of like, well, are we going to be able to get him in to service the yard, set it up and everything like that? And we opened that door. She just kind of waltzed right in and he was like, Mom, let's go, and ran right in. And we've had no trouble shifting him or the girls since.
What kind of personality does he have so far?
He is so spunky. I think it's just because they're trying to, or, you know, as a young one, he's trying to figure out what he can do and how quick he can go. And so sometimes he'll just be walking and no problem, and then he just jumps for no reason. Or, you know, when we got out here, he was taking a nap, but as soon as the girls moved on, he says, all right, it's time to go, and he gets up and goes.
So fun. So many of our teams have had such good babies to be excited about.
Look at him
Doing kind of a giraffe thing.
Yeah, I'd say he's grazing though too. He is
Let's
getting
see if we
a little
can go
bit of
over
grass.
and see that a little bit.
Don't spook there, Kylo.
We're just coming over to watch you.
Hi, buddy.
Hi, Whitney. The father of Kylo is here at Denver Zoo. He's in a different yard. His name is Bakari. So you'll see him on the other side of Central Ranges, on the side that faces Toyota Elephant Passage. A couple of people asking, what's the lifespan of a Grevy zebra?
In the wild, it can be up to about 20 years, but here in zoos, it can be up around 30 years.
And so remind us of the ages.
So Zinfandel, the one in the middle there, is 25. The one up front, Topaz, is 17. And Farah back there is 23.
17, 25, 23. There you go. Yeah, so Bakari is not here. Oh, Nate has a great question. He always wants to know about the enrichment. He's really into knowing what enriches these animals.
So we do have an apple hanging way back there with a small hole in it where they can kind of use their face to toss it around and hopefully get some stuff out. We do also like to put hay balls or what we call a boomer ball that has holes in it. So as they push it with their nose, treats will pop out. And so a lot of movement kind of things. They do like scent enrichment as well.
There's a really big kind of red, yellow, blue ball that we put out here too that they go nuts for.
It is pretty cool.
Hi Janae, I'm so glad you're enjoying our lives. Whitney's wondering if we can explain why Bakari is separated.
So Bakari is separated. So in the wild, they form very loose herds, around 20 to 30 individuals that can change day to day. Generally, the closest pair bond you're going to have is going to be between a mother and her foal. Other than that, they'll kind of come and go. If they come in contact with other herds, they can kind of move around. Males do defend territories if they're a more dominant male, but generally they kind of stay left off on their own. If a herd wanders into their territory, maybe he'll take an interest, but they will defend a territory.
And he's doing great over there. He's got all of his own space.
Oh, yes.
All this extra attention. And I believe one of our keepers brought him a little congratulations treat when he became a dad.
Jordan sure did.
Yes. So let's see. Hi, Patricia. We don't announce too far in advance what animals we're going to share, just in case it can change. But if you look on our Facebook every morning, we'll tell you in advance which animal we'll be featuring. A lot of people say they can't wait to come to the zoo and see Kylo.
He's pretty amazing.
We can't wait either. Was his birth uneventful, kind of normal, or is there any story behind it?
Well, I mean, we were kind of expecting him a little earlier than we did, but you know, when he did come along, it wasn't without pomp and circumstance. We kind of knew she was maybe showing early signs of labor when we left for the day at 4. So we kind of warned the night keepers, like, hey, you know, she's acting a little bit funny, just keep an eye on her. And then at about 2 in the morning, we all got text messages that said, hey, we've got a baby. So I think it was a pretty easy birth for her and no problems.
That's great. And what are those early signs of labor we were looking for?
So what she was when she was laying down, kind of not really biting at the belly, but kind of showing interest in her belly, she was vocalizing a ton. And then just kind of, well, really the laying down and kind of, yeah.
I think when you know if you're
kind of, yeah,
I might not have identified it.
That's
as
true.
Labor. But it's always good to know. I feel like that always happens. Our keepers say, well, I left for the day and we were pretty sure it was going to happen. And there he goes. Do all zebras do the like wide leg stretch to graze?
Not necessarily. I think kind of like we were talking about before, maybe he's just all leg right now. You can kind of see that they can reach the ground without having to do that. He'll grow into his legs and his body a little bit better, and you can see that his neck is quite a bit shorter than obviously the females. So he will grow into it better to the point where he doesn't have to do that.
Yeah. Sorry about the wind, everyone. It's a breezy day
Yeah, I hope
here
you
in
can still hear
Denver.
us.
Yes, which is kind of a relief because it's been very sunny and very hot. And if you were with us yesterday, you were there when the phone overheated. So we're hoping that the wind keeps that from happening again today. Elisa was wondering, where would these zebras live in the wild?
So you would find them around Kenya in
Kenya.
Africa.
What kind of she used the word biome, so like
Like a habitat?
Yeah.
So they are actually more in like dry, arid habitats like this. One adaptation that they have that's really cool is they can actually go a week without drinking water.
Oh, wow.
So they get a lot of water that they need from the moisture that they have. It also helps with the type of fermentation that they have. So they have kind of the same basic makeup as us, and then they have what's called a hindgut fermentation. So they have that cecum that helps them really get what nutrients and moisture they need out of the kind of poor nutrient food that they ingest.
Hi, Lori. She's wondering what the lifespan is. 18 to 20 years in the wild, and in human care, up to 30 years.
Mm-hmm. Look at him being brave.
Oh, Nate's wondering, wow.
That was amazing.
Is that the first time you've seen something like that?
That's the first time I've seen a jump. That's
oh
pretty
my
cool.
gosh, everyone. You just saw a Kylo first, hopping over a log like he's a champion jumper. Hi, Gracia. They have black and white stripes, Jesse explained earlier, as a way to camouflage. When they're in a big group and a big herd moving, it kind of creates a bit of like a camouflage optical illusion that you couldn't really just see one. So it's a very cool...
It's kind of when you think of a tire going and sometimes the tire looks like it's moving backwards, it's the same basic optical illusion. Also, if you look like at a barbershop pole, it kind of looks like it's descending as opposed to going up. Same optical illusion. Meant to confuse predators.
Very cool. Ben's wondering how often they sleep. Or are they big nappers?
They're not huge nappers. I actually don't know how much they sleep at night, but they're not usually napping during the day while we're here. So.
Not during the day. Nate's wondering how much they eat in a day.
Wow, these are really good questions. I would say up to around 40 pounds per zebra.
We've been doing this 8 weeks, but you all still surprise us with the questions.
I thought I was ready for you guys.
He is just so cute. He's like mini. He's just a little mini zebra.
Now, I'm kind of surprised I have not gotten the age-old question, are they black with white stripes or white with black stripes? I expected that one.
I have not seen that question.
That is, I swear that's the question about zebras all around, and to put it to rest, they actually have black skin. So they are black with white stripes.
Okay, so if you shaved them down...
They have black skin, yes. Much like a polar bear also has black skin, but you don't notice that.
But it's confusing because they have a lot of white fur on their belly,
That's
so you'd think
true.
they'd be white.
That's right.
And they're not like tigers in the sense that the stripes go all the way to their skin.
No.
No, that is a unique to tigers thing. Their stripes are like their fingerprints right on their skin. Abby's wondering if they're soft.
The only part of a zebra I have touched really is their muzzle, that kind of nose part, and yes, it is very soft. Some of them are very, very, tactile, and they do like to be touched on the face or fed by hand, and some don't, which is perfectly fine.
Abby with a Y wants to know, do zebras hear and smell very well, like as good as a dog?
Yes, so if you watch their head, just watch it for a second, and you'll see those ears constantly swiveling. It's like they're getting a 360-degree picture with their ears. Or they'll slightly move that head so they can orient it all around them. And the sense of smell, you'll see their nostrils flaring as well. They're taking in all the sights and smells, kind of just always watching their habitat. They're, always on the lookout for something.
Do you think they have a sense that is most superior?
If I had to say, I would say hearing, but I don't actually know for a fact. You also notice that their eyes are kind of wide set on their head. That helps to almost produce a 360-degree view as well. They'll turn their head slightly to see behind themselves, but they can see quite well around.
Abby's wondering if they would interact with giraffes in the wild.
They would. You wouldn't see them a ton together. These guys are more like interacting with wildebeest, other grazers, as opposed to browsers. They may come in contact with each other, but I wouldn't say they're best buds.
So these are grazers?
Yes. So
Okay.
they do have those teeth. They have top and bottom teeth on the front, so they can grab those grasses, and they do have that hindgut fermentation for grazing, whereas you got a browser. They do occasionally browse if they can't find a whole lot of grasses, but generally they're a grazer.
And you'll notice, you know, unlike a lot of our hoof stock yards, we don't have the branches hung up on the walls or on the trees for them to reach, because they're not going to go for those.
Right. We'll give them, like, sometimes we'll have extra branches and we'll throw them on the ground for them, and they will strip them and eat them, but that's not their primary diet.
For you loyal watchers out there, pop in the comments and let me know if you remember which of our animals we featured that are browsers. I want to test your memories, because we have featured quite a few, one of them with Jessie.
I was just going to say, as a hint, she mentioned it earlier.
So I think, you know, browsing being you reach up and pull from the trees and the branches.
Low-hanging bushes or trees, and then grazing on the ground.
Yeah, so grazing, ground, grass, all G's.
There you go.
Browsing, branches. Drew wants to know, how sharp are their teeth?
So the front teeth, their incisors, are pretty sharp because it has to be able to bite the grass. Sometimes when they do bite, you'll see them jerk their head to the side so it rips the grass. And then those incisors in the back, those molars in the back, they do have sharp ridges because they need to grind that grass up. And that's why they're constantly growing, because they will wear those edges down, but as they grow, those sharp edges will come back and help them grind up their food.
Are they herbivores, omnivores, opportunistic feeders?
Strict herbivores. I almost said omnivore. That's not right. Strict herbivores. They will not eat meat.
Oh, we've got some people with very good memories. Abby's she's Garanux, okapi, correct, giraffes, rhino. They do eat browse,
Yes.
so I'll give them that. Yep, Whitney, okapi is a browser. We featured a couple others, so I'll let you guys keep guessing down there. It's lovely to see how attentive you all are. Emily's wondering if they have multiple stomachs like cows.
So no, they do just have that one true stomach like we have, and then like I said, after everything that we have, they have that cecum, which is kind of like another digestive chamber. So the thing that she's referring to is a ruminant. That means you have that rumen, the four-chambered stomach, and you regurgitate a cud. These guys would not have that, no.
The one true stomach.
That's right. Making it sound fancy.
It reminded me of, like, my school's motto was like, one true son. Nope, sloths are not grazers or browsers, but keep guessing. And we have not done a live with sloths, unfortunately. I would love to. Let's keep walking over to see these. We'll do our last call for questions. So this is usually when all of a sudden everyone's got questions again.
Topaz is coming over to say goodbye.
Topaz has been very interested.
What are you doing, T? I'm sorry, I'm out of snacks.
You know, all of our animals are very food motivated. I've
They
never
also
seen them
recognize
get this close.
That pouch too.
It really shows the trust that these animals have with keepers, because normally when I walk by the giraffe or zebra yard, they're kind of far back enjoying themselves, but they see a keeper and they come right up.
The bucket helps too.
The bucket, yes. They are like, ooh. Elsa is a kudu, and they're browsers, right? All right. Way to go, Whitney. You've got it, Ashley. Oh, so many great guesses here, everyone. Lori wants to know, what's their favorite food?
So I would say the favorite thing that they get are the carrots. They really like them. We use them for training, and it's kind of a very high reinforcer for them, high value reinforcer.
A lot like horses. They do love carrots. Hi, Tiffany. Kylo will probably eventually be paired with another female at a different zoo for the species survival plan. A very important part of what we do is zoos. But he'll be with us here at Denver Zoo for a while. So you'll get to enjoy him. Eddie's wondering how high they can jump. We saw Kylo clear that log right behind Topaz.
Yep. I would say a couple feet.
A couple feet. So not going huge far. Are they trained for things like vaccines and other husbandry?
So yeah, you may be able to see way back there is kind of a cattle gate. We do ask them for a side behavior, which means they line up their side to that cattle gate and they can present it for vaccines or something like that. We also work on scale training back there. We have a chute inside that they walk through with a platform where we put the bar scales, and so we'll bring them through there and have them stop so we can weigh them.
Yeah. Hi, Nate. You could not ride a zebra like you could a horse.
Most definitely not.
They would not enjoy that at all.
No.
Ashley's wondering if they have a hierarchy. like in their social dynamic?
There is kind of a hierarchy, especially now with Farrah having a foal. She's going to be the most dominant one, but even before then, and again, she was pregnant, so she was, you know, wanting the food all the time and wanting to be the one with the center of attention. So yeah, I would say she's the more dominant one. In the wild, maybe not. Like I said, they do form those loose herds, and again, they may have a preference for having a mother with her foal in the wild. So.
All right, everyone. Jesse has been so awesome, answered so many of your questions. I think y'all only stumped in that one time with who was born here. So we appreciate all the awesome questions and comments. We're really happy you like the name Kylo. We're so happy to introduce him to you. He is right back there behind. Is that Mom?
Yes.
So he's just hanging out, but he can't wait to see you when we reopen. News on that is still TBD, but we will announce it as soon as we know. So thank you to everyone and have a great day.
Thanks, guys.